Back home in Ashburton, Ariane's meeting Dairy NZ's consulting officer for Central Canterbury, Juliet Lee.
So are we going to Will's farm now?
Yeah, we can go right now. We'll just jump in the car and we'll head on out there.
Juliet spends a lot of time on the road.
So what's your job role?
So as part of my work with Dairy NZ, I work with farmers daily on making decisions. Some of those decisions are financial, some of them are about cows and grass, and some of them are about people management. So my job as a facilitator is to really control the flow of information coming from the research and development teams down into the farmers' minds, but also the flow of information back to the research team about what it is that farmers actually want to be finding out. Lots of the farms down here are pretty good at renewing the pastures on a regular basis, but I think probably there's definitely room for improvement.
Yeah. It's quite important that, the farmer would try to renew parts of his area each year.
To make decisions, you can't just always rely on what someone says. It's really important to have the right research to back you up. So that's where the research team at Dairy NZ and other organisations such as Ag Research really come in handy.
Ariane's heading back to Singletree Farm, where Juliet's organising a group discussion about body condition scoring.
So this is my office, pretty much. I basically live out of here. This is what I call my go box. It's my lifeline, so I keep everything in here that I need, pens for presentations and that kind of thing.
So what are these?
Those are De Bono's thinking hats, so they represent different ways of thinking about a problem to come up with solutions. For example, the green hat is associated with creativity. So with our meeting this afternoon, it's really important that we use the best information at hand to display our recommendations. So that's why we always try and get as many people involved as we can in the conversation. So a lot of our recommendations will be around grouping cows into mobs that are sort of similar weight. We've got other farmers, so people actually on the ground managing the properties, and then we can have input from me as sort of a chairman of the meeting. So now it's really important to think about, what does the farm need to do about this distribution of cows that they've got. So people management and human resources is a massive part of our industry. So it's really important that if you've got skills in those areas, that there's actually a place for you in the dairy industry.
Also at the meeting is rural banker Andrew Smith. He's here to run over the figures for an expansion option for the farm.
Yeah, the production's going pretty well this year.
A good part of the job is talking to clients, dealing with both corporate businesses and also family businesses. The relationships we have grow very quickly because we're talking about money, and money, once you have a trust to talk about that, it seems you can talk about anything. Ariane, I guess not only are we a source of capital for development, expansion, general year-to-year running of a farm, but I guess our role now is we're part of that team, and understanding the business is the most important thing.
The farming tradition of Canterbury is wheat, but that's changing. Converting wheat farms to dairy is a big but highly expensive business. Would-be dairy land is now costly. Infrastructure requirements such as cow sheds and irrigation could burn up many millions. Ariane's headed to a farm that Will could buy into and then convert to dairy.
So when would you give it the green light?
To give you an idea, the bank lends on three key components, so that's viability, security, and the last one's personal factor. Do we believe that you'll do exactly what you've told us you'll do, and do we believe you have the skill? It's fantastic to see clients doing well. The dairy industry over the last couple of years, or probably 10 years, has really boomed, and we're in the peak of it now.
No farmer could ever be without this rural professional, the local vet. Susan Geddes specialises in small animals and dairy cattle.
For 80% of the year, you never know what you're going to do till you get to work. But generally, it's turn up to the job and you might get a few clients call up about, a sick cow that they want you to see or a blind cow.
Susan first shows Ariane how to check the cows for pregnancy.
Today we're just going to be scanning a few cows. So this is our scanner here. This is the headset, and this just shows the same picture that's going to be on the screen. So we've got the probe here which goes in the bottom of the cow, and then it shows us what's underneath the rectal wall underneath so we can see the uterus.
Great care needs to be taken when using an ultrasound probe like this. It can easily damage a cow's rectal wall.
And there's the calf there. You can see the heartbeat there as well.
That's really cool. So is that probably its heart or something?
Yep, that's the calf.
When the cow calves, she'll produce more milk. and Will is safe in the knowledge his cows will earn their keep.
Definitely happy to tackle anything, but I wouldn't lie and say that nerves don't come into it sometimes. There are certainly situations, even though I've been doing it for a while now, where you get there and on the way you're stressing out about all the different possibilities for it.
This cow has not been walking well. She's lame. Lameness is usually caused by stones that are trapped in the hoof and cause infection.
So we're going to take off a layer off the top here and see if we can see any little marks around the outside here on the white line.
So will this grow back?
Yep, it grows similar to your toenails and fingernails as well. It doesn't grow very fast though.
Just like cutting a toenail, this doesn't hurt the animal. The hoof is pared back until the problem is revealed. Job easily done here, she's walking better already. But the next one will be more tricky.
I guess the good thing with cows is they can't tell you what's going on, and you might say what's good about that, but you don't have someone telling you 15 things of what it might be.
The infection is bad. She'll need antibiotics and a shoe to assist walking will be fitted.
The variety in the job is definitely one of the best parts about it for me, especially during the spring. That's probably our most varied time of year, and you never know what you're going to get when you go to work.
Well, what a busy few days. Ariane's learnt heaps. So, if she wants a career in dairy farming, what does the future hold?
I think dairy's hugely important, especially to New Zealand. It's obviously our biggest industry at the moment. We need to keep trying to produce milk for the world. The world is wanting it at the moment. The demand out there for highly qualified people that can step into high-performing roles is getting higher and higher. So I think tertiary education is essential in that.
It has been really fantastic and I've really enjoyed myself. I've learned everything from being a dairy researcher and researching feed to injecting a cow, and I could see myself being a dairy farmer or something along those lines.
Dairy farming is New Zealand's single most important economic activity, responsible for 25% of our export earnings. Most jobs in the dairy industry involve some work on the farm, so you must enjoy being outdoors and working with people and animals. Training can be completed on the job, but entering the industry with a recognised qualification will allow you to progress faster. There is a skill shortage, so there is a variety of rewarding jobs available and good opportunities to get ahead. A job working in dairy means you're part of an important industry that helps feed more than 100 million people around the world.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.